Speaking of Twitch, check us out on Twitch. Follow us on Twitch and check out our stream on Twitch.
Yep, we stream 3 times a week, 4 times a week actually. Each one of us has their individual streams. I've been streaming Command and Conquer on Mondays.
And being
Apologize
bad
for
at it.
skipping last. Yep. I'm horrible at. Well, because you guys both took the other 2 genres. I wasn't going to play fighting games.
The other 2 genres. There's only 2 genres in the gaming world. It's
well, I mean, like
games.
major genres, like fighting
major
games, shooting.
No one plays fighting games. Who the fuck plays fighting games?
You do, Ben. You play every possible variant of fighting game.
Okay, what's FIFA? Is FIFA a fighting game or is it a shooting game?
It's a foot fighting game. It's a foot shooting game.
That's right, because there's tackling. I mean, there's sports games. I don't know, but
okay, what's Harvest Moon?
Yeah, maybe I should start playing. That's definitely a fighting game. You're fighting boredom.
You're fighting the elements. You're fighting poor crop
yourself.
Production.
Yeah, you're fighting all kinds of things. Come on, Ben.
Everything's really a fighting game when you come down to it.
Because everything's fighting for your attention, but let Dos and a Half Cinco's podcast win that battle. Wow. And welcome to another episode of Dos and a Half Cinco's. This is episode number 48. This week we cover Shaun of the Dead in our movie of the week, and part of That's What I Call Cinco's action, as well as, if you've been following, Street Sharks Season 3, Episode 12. Before we get into it, as always, I'm your host, David.
And I'm appalled that you're doing the radio voice.
I'm not doing a radio voice.
You were kind of doing the radio voice.
It's too early for this. It's too early for the radio voice.
What?
And I'm Stuart.
I'm not even gonna try.
And that's Sleepy Ben.
What's up?
What do you mean Sleepy Ben? I thought Ben wakes up at like 7 a.m. every day.
I don't know. He was the one who was
wanted to sleep in today, all right? Because I was playing Gundam last night pretty late, and then I'm like, all right. And then I totally forgot because I had my phone in the other room. I didn't have my phone on me the whole day. And when I was going to bed, I looked at my phone and it was like, oh, 9 o'clock today, right? And I'm like, fuck.
Ben, you're the one who has puppies and dogs at home.
I do.
Like, don't they wake you up at 6? Like, Stu, doesn't your doggos wake you up early?
No.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, you have very considerate doggos.
Well, they're also cordoned off on the other side of the house. So.
Oh, lucky. Yeah, my dogs like claw at the door at like 6 or 7, and then we just let them out to do their business, and then I go back to bed. Well, Letty does.
Although one of them does try to wake me up at 2, 3 in the morning, 4 in the morning.
Why?
Just by barking at she does these really intermittent barks, like not really barking at anything particularly.
You sure she's not dreaming?
Yeah, I'm absolutely sure. And she's always been kind of the slow one, so I always just imagine her just like staring at the wall barking. She did that last night, and I was like, nope, I'm not going to enable this behavior, Chloe. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to go out there and tell you to stop barking. I know you just want attention. I'm not going to come out there, even if it's me telling you to be quiet. And so, so last night eventually she stopped. So, nice. Thank God. Otherwise, I don't know if I'd be awake right now.
Ben, what were you doing playing Gundam all night last night if it wasn't on stream? Unless you have a second stream. Are you cheating on us?
Look, man, I'm a man who needs more than just one stream in my life. All right?
No, you always told us that we were enough. That's why we started this venture together.
Look, people grow, all right? People just drift apart. They discover, younger, hotter streams, all right? Thinner streams.
Well, don't worry. We're going to
streams I've been going to the gym.
Streams that have been keeping
Which gym has been open, though?
It doesn't matter, all right? Some streams don't let that stop them, all right? It's just excuses with you. I've heard this excuse every day from you. When are you going to start, huh?
Some streams have home gyms.
Yeah.
We don't have that kind of budget.
And that's why I think we should start seeing other streams.
All right.
We should start streaming other people.
I guess this will be the last episode with Ben on it because we're getting a divorce.
But
and we're taking half of everything from Ben.
Joint custody. So David will do a podcast on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Ben will do it Thursday, Friday, and then
we have joint custody
Saturdays
of half of
Sundays.
Stu. So we have a quarter of a Cinco.
No, this is your guys' breakup. I'm involved. Like I'm still involved in each project, but
yeah, we get him half the time.
Going to be.
I get Stu on the weekdays. You get Stu on the weekends.
Deal.
But then you can't be bringing him back after you pump him full of sugar. I'm not dealing with that mess on Mondays.
Hey, I am gonna deem what's right for my stew, and you
guys, this is getting too real.
All right. Well, before we start going down this rabbit hole, you guys see anything else besides our movie of the week, Shaun of the Dead?
I saw one of my favorite movies growing up. Well, not really growing up.
You saw Heavyweights again?
No, but although that would have been a good second choice, I saw Speed Racer, the 2008 hit.
Yeah, I was gonna say, growing up, you were like already grown up at that point.
Hey.
Well,
we're also
I guess
growing up in life.
Maybe not mentally grown up, but
yeah,
physically you were grown up.
We're all still growing up mentally, right?
No, I feel like I'm pretty stunted.
Well, I gotta watch Speed Racer again, so I'm pretty happy. I tried to get Letty to watch it with me, and then I don't know how it happened, but she compared me to Hitler.
I mean,
please, no, wait. Actually,
can
you explain how that happened?
I said because on Fridays I watch a movie with Bowie and some other guys. We always take turns choosing movies, and it was my turn, so I said I'm going to choose Speed Racer, and she said, "How could you do that? That's so inhumane." And I said, "What do you mean? It's a wonderful movie." And she said, "Well, Hitler thought that he was doing something good for the world. Look how that turned out."
She's got a point. She's absolutely right.
Stu, I just realized how we could replace Ben. We could just get Letty on the podcast. Nope.
Or Hitler. I mean,
or Hitler.
Put Hitler on. We wouldn't tell Hitler.
He thought he was doing some good. We also think that we are doing some good by running this podcast. What are you trying to say, Ben?
Had pieces of flair.
Wow.
Jews had pieces.
It's fucking 9 in the morning on a Saturday. Shut up.
Dude, That was so good. No, Stu, that was perfect. All right, what about you, Stu?
Nazis wear there.
Wait, so you're going to replace me with Hitler?
Yep.
So you're going to you have to rename the podcast to 9.5 Cincos.
9.
Wow.
Then we got to get 7 more people.
What about you, Stu? Anything else besides Shaun of the Dead?
No, I've just been rewatching 30 Rock, and then still trying to get through Last of Us Part 2. This game just won't end.
Yeah, it's quite long.
I feel like we've been talking about this for quite some time, Stu.
I thought I was close to the end, and then it just revealed to me last night that it's like, nope. Like, oh, shit.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming this is one of those games where you were like, well, I'm glad this is over. I'm done with this. Crap, there's more.
Yeah. I mean, I'll say this though.
Okay.
I like the game. The gameplay is fun. I like the gameplay. The melee combat is very satisfying.
Story also satisfying.
What?
Characters also satisfying?
No, that's the part I'm finding myself cringing at times of how bad some of these moments are happening. But yeah, I don't want to get too much into it, but I have a lot of gripes about not so much the story in it of itself, just how some of the interactions take place that make me cringe. So
I
And
think I'm in the opposite camp. I'm like,
I'll leave it at that.
Yeah, I
What, you
felt
think
like
the
I
gameplay
was.
sucks, but you really like the story?
It's not the gameplay sucks. It was just like it was getting to this point where like I was, I'm kind of like I think we might have been at the same point where it was like, oh, I think it's at the end. Thank God. But then it just keeps going, and I found it like thinking about it, going through the game again. It's just like, oh crap, that just means more sneaking around, waiting until someone comes around and like hitting them, and then like a whole bunch of sequences like that. And I don't know. It's just like, is it really worth it to go through it? I mean,
You feel
it's
like
satisfying.
Wait. Time out. This is
Yeah.
coming from a guy
Yeah.
whose favorite genre of games is essentially doing the same thing every game.
Yeah, but you gotta talk shit on people. It's great. You gotta talk shit on
Why don't you be like me and talk shit at the characters?
Because they're not gonna react back. Like, I can talk
to
shit
Letty
on...
then.
Yeah, Letty. Yeah. Get out of the house and stop paying our mortgage. Yeah.
I'm taking the dog.
Yeah, eat shit, Letty. We're playing for the dogs now. I don't know. Yeah.
But you don't find yourself like some of the interactions I'm finding really hard to like watch and be like, this is a reasonable interaction between people.
Are there any characters in particular? I don't know.
Well,
it's been a while since I played the game.
Oh, obviously, I still hate Dina.
Okay.
She's very annoying to me. But I think, like, I don't know. I think, like, one of the things I guess is like, how well I don't want. Actually, that's too much of a spoiler. I don't want to talk about it. Plus, I'm not finished with it yet. So.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
But I just want to.
I don't think I got into that part yet. If you're just talking about Dina, then I'm pretty much at the part where like you kind of take over and go to the other part. And
right. Yeah, I finished that part.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't know any other character besides Dina.
Okay. So
pretty much.
But yeah, so but that's where I'm at with it. So, but I'll leave it there. I'll leave it there.
Yeah. I think I might just kind of move on and maybe try Ghost of Tsushima. I don't know.
Right. I'm trying to finish this game so I can go to that one.
Yeah.
Because I have I want to after I'm finished with the game, I'm going to try to go read about what other people were saying about it, because I don't know what anyone's saying about it, but it definitely has it's just definitely trying to do is trying to shovel some wokeness, I feel like, to people. But it's like, I don't know who they think the target audience of their game is, but it just feels very forced to me. But
let's see. Yeah, I haven't really gotten that far, so I have no idea what you're talking about right now.
But yeah, there's more stuff that happens that's even more like makes it even more like that. So welcome to the podcast where we speak very vaguely about stuff.
How come you guys aren't this eloquent or this articulate when we're not in the spoiler zone? And then you guys
think this is
like...
articulate?
Yeah, we're basically saying nothing.
That part, that one part after that other part, Stu,
Yeah, there's a thing I like, and then there's a thing I don't like.
Oh, I totally know about that thing.
Well, for me, as a person who hasn't touched the game, hasn't played it, I have no idea the hell you guys are talking about. But for people who have played it, I'm sure you guys were able to make that connection between the two. So I'm like, okay.
I mean, we could be totally pot shots in the dark, We could totally be assuming something totally different from the other person.
That's what I'm assuming you guys are doing, because that's what Stu has been wanting to do with TV shows that that you've been talking about, Ben. Like where he's like, I just started this brand new TV show. Oh, what was the name of the main character? And then you're all telling it was Tommy. It's like, oh yeah, I heard Tommy kills everybody in the 5th episode. And he goes, what? Right. So
welcome to Stu's fake spoiler zone.
Correct. I'm assuming that's happening, even though there tends to be some agreement. So you guys may have already planned this ahead of time. I don't know, but I assume you guys have better things to do, but I also know that you guys probably don't have anything better to do.
When I finish the game, I'll reveal some of the stuff that I am not a fan of.
Okay.
So
all right. Then we look forward to that. So, Stu, hurry up and finish the game so that way.
Yeah, so I can get to Ghost Sashimi.
Ghost of Sashimi. With
because
the extra wasabi, please.
A lot of people are getting really into that one. Ben, have you started it?
No, I have not.
Oh, okay.
Just playing Gundam.
Yeah, playing Gundam, David. Come on.
Yeah, till the wee hours in the morning, and then forgetting that we have a recording session. Oh, well, that sounds like a cue for us to shark dive into Street Sharks, Season 3, Episode 12. Street Sharks. In this one, surprise, surprise, Dr. Paradigm has cooked up another scheme. This time it comes with nuclear waste. And his solution for the entire city is Wolverinepedes, which wreak havoc and cause for Rip and the gang to have to step in once again to save the geckos who are underground. And they ask for help from their dad, and we still don't know what his dad looks like. And of course, they save the day. Yeah.
I don't think the Street Sharks really care about reuniting with their dad.
Yeah,
they bring him up a lot though,
because they introduce or they reintroduce the geckos guys, and they clearly have a connection to their father, and they meet up with this like the gecko guy, and they don't even be like, they're not even like, hey, so where's our dad? You know where our dad is? They didn't even ask that.
They're more concerned about what they get to eat after their immense like usage of physical activity.
I can't fault them for that.
Huh?
Yeah.
I can't fault them for that. I mean,
they are
technically want
still shark
burgers.
That's true.
Yeah, and dads don't sell action figures.
It's true.
Well, if you don't know what he looks like, then of course he's never going to be able to sell action
unless
figures.
He's like some sort of Voltron shark thing. He's not going to sell an action figure. Or some sort
I'm actually
shark.
Based on the silhouette of the couple times that we've seen like what the dad kind of turned into, I kind of imagine the thing that King Triton turned into when Ursula from Little Mermaid like zaps him and he turns into like one of those like weird gooey things. I don't even know what they're called.
What?
Ben or David, when's the last time you watched Little Mermaid?
Probably 7 years ago.
Week.
Yeah, I wish that would be my pick for anime. I'm just kidding. No,
you said 7 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
So when you were 24.
Yes.
Ben, do you want to know when the last time I saw Little Mermaid was?
Probably.
No, please tell me, Stu. I'm thinking of a number between 1 and 10.
I think you're right. None of us know what you're talking about, David.
Well, shit. Okay, all right.
Shit, bail out.
No, it's just like one of those like weird, creepy, whatever. But yeah, we don't know what his dad looks like. But I mean, on a scale of like 1 to 10, how much of this is like still held your interest if we weren't already doing it? I know that you guys had mentioned before, if it was up to you guys, we probably would have just watched like the first season, which was 3 episodes, and then call it a day. Like, is knowing possibly what the dad looks like or having them reunite, does that actually do anything for you guys?
At this point, I would say not really. I really just want to finish it because I don't want to get 80%. I do this a lot of times, and I hate that I do it, where I get like 80% done with something, and then it takes me forever to finish the last 20%.
Like Last of Us?
Like, well, that or more notably, like Final Fantasy VII Remake. I still haven't finished it, and I'm pretty sure I'm close to the end.
But technically, it's not the end, right? I mean, that game's
the end of that installment.
I see.
Or Red Dead Redemption, Red Dead, yeah, 2. I don't even know if I'm close to the end, but I stopped playing it, and I don't know what happens. So,
well, this is a public service announcement. Try to finish your video games before new ones come out, because then you'll never get a chance to go back to finish them.
exactly.
Because I have a huge backlog of PS3 games that I never got around to finishing.
PS3?
I know. Like, they just started building. And I told myself when I bought the PS4, I was like, all right, I'm going to buy a game with this, and I'm going to finish it. I don't even remember what game that was, and I guarantee you I didn't finish it.
Wait, so you're telling me that there's some sort of story mode for Tiger Woods' PGA Tour?
That one I did finish. And then I finished every other rendition of it, because it was PGA Tour, Tiger Woods 2013, and then there was the Masters Edition, and then the Historics Masters Edition. I finished all three.
PGA
Wait, did you do
Golf
New Game
Manager.
Plus? Did you do the putter only challenge? Did you do...
Yes, I did the putter only
driver
challenge.
only.
I wish they would let you do that. I don't know. I've never done that. Actually, it'd be kind of funny if they actually had that.
I think a good stream for you, David, would to play a golf game, but you're only allowed to use the clubs that chat tells you to.
Oh, okay. Then you guys are always gonna pick putter.
Exactly.
And then when I get
to putter, okay.
And when you get to the green, it's gonna be like the sand
Driver.
wedge or whatever.
Oh shoot. Yeah, maybe. All right, we'll think about it. I definitely have always really enjoyed sports games, especially golf and basketball.
Well, hang on, golf's not a sport.
Golf is a sport. It's in the Olympics. Next.
I mean,
I wouldn't have had that argument 8 years ago.
Street Fighter is also in the Olympics, David.
Yeah. Esports are going to be in the Olympics too, David. Now what?
Is it really?
Yes. So are you saying that's a sport too? Are you saying that's a sport?
Yeah, because there's always the risk of carpal tunnel. I think as long as there's a risk to injury, I think it's considered a sport.
So really, is masturbating a sport?
Ben, I don't know what you're doing, but it's way too aggressive if you think that's
well, then you're just not having a good time, David.
You're just not doing it right.
All right. Any other thoughts on this episode? I think we've definitely jumped the shark on this one.
I think they wow.
Ben, I'm surprised you know what that reference is. That reference is really, really, really old.
What do you mean? It's like a common trope, or it's a common phrase. Jump the shark, because it was taken from Happy Days, and now you can there's an actual site that measures when a show actually jumps the proverbial shark. Okay, for those who don't know, jumping a shark with the TV or with anything means where a show or some sort of form of media just goes way overboard, and just kind of transforms and starts going downhill. Essentially, it's the moment when you can pinpoint when a show just starts degrading,
becoming less
just got roasted.
Yeah. So you could say that we jumped the shark on.
We do that on every episode.
0000 of episode 1.
Our first fake sponsor was probably the part.
I think it was Black People Meat.
Oh,
it comes full circle.
Yep.
47 episodes ago.
All right. Well, we'll go ahead and wrap that part up. We'll jump straight over to our box office rundown. If you've been following along with the news and you live in the U.S., you know that nothing is open again. They have rolled back all of the reopenings, especially some of the hotspots, especially where we're at in California. And they've already started to push back some of the movies, like, for example, Tenet, I think was pushed to the end of this month. Correct, Ben?
It was, yeah.
Oh, did they move it again?
It's not even on a release schedule anymore. It's delayed indefinitely now.
David, you realize it's pretty much the end of July right now?
Yeah, I know. We're a week away. So it was supposed to be July 31st.
Yeah. So they pretty much gave up and said, okay, it's not coming out until it's deemed necessary. So yeah, that's now delayed indefinitely. And so is Mulan now. Thank God.
But it's not going to go on to Disney Plus? I thought that was what we assumed was going to end up happening.
There was no way that a movie like Mulan was going to go into Disney Plus. The whole purpose of that movie was to get buddy with China. That was like one of the big selling points of it. And guess
but isn't
what?
China technically is open right now? I mean,
China's
they're
cool.
yeah. You will watch later.
Yeah, so they are rolling some stuff open. However, there have been outbreaks in China with these like lax opening restrictions. So I think they're still trying to figure things out. But there have been talks about international releases for movies now superseding U.S. releases because of how everything is going. So, usually in the past, things would release in the US earlier than they would in international. So there have been times where I watch something in, over here, and then I go visit my grandparents or something in Indonesia, and just like, hey, new release, fucking
Guys,
Endgame or something.
Have you seen Avatar yet?
Yeah.
It's basically Dances with Wolves in space.
Actually,
when
is Avatar 2 coming out?
Was that slated?
Yeah, and it got delayed again, so now we're not going to see it for a while again.
Yeah. I had a thought.
That's great, buddy. That's great. You'll get him next time, champ.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say, right now at this point, kind of like James Bond, No Time to Die. They pushed it up from November to November 20th, but then the UK release is like a week before that, right? Something like that.
Yeah.
Okay. So, yeah, that is the current state right now. We'll use this time, if you made it this far into the podcast, definitely, stay safe out there, stay 6 feet away, wear a mask, wash your hands, that kind of stuff. And your other thoughts about the current state of the movies?
I miss going to the movie theaters.
Yeah, I mean, dude, I kind of miss that. Be able to sit there. So what would it take for you guys to feel comfortable to going back? Would it be no AMC actors in their promotional spot not catching coronavirus?
I don't know. I'd probably feel safer once there's maybe a vaccine or something.
So we're not going back so the Those 5incos podcast will not be going back to the movie theaters until March 2021.
Yep, pretty much.
Oh man!
Good thing.
And then I could finally unbox this box of spoons and throw them at a screen.
It's not even for the room. I just want to throw these goddamn spoons.
So we're gonna need for you to take those spoons back to your car.
Don't worry, I'll clean them up after.
All right. Let's see. All right, we'll just go over to our movie of the week this week, Shaun of the Dead.
All right, that was it for our podcast. Thanks, everybody.
Next week. Go ahead, David.
Oh, no, Ben, I've been doing it for the last couple of weeks. I didn't want to take that away from you.
Oh, but okay, fine. So, there's a guy
I'm just kidding.
Shaun.
I got it.
Okay,
what?
good.
There's a
In an
guy
unassuming
named Edgar Wright who makes really good movies. I like. I like Edgar Wright. I'm Ben.
Yeah. That's what I was gonna say. Wow.
Michael Cera stars in a. No, I'm just kidding.
British Michael Cera stars.
Shaun has an unassuming life as a supervisor at a electronics store.
Oh God!
Every day he goes in, and it doesn't seem like anything is about to happen until a zombie apocalypse falls upon.
You could say happen again.
Happens. Damn it! I had this prepared. You guys threw me off with the thing about the movie thing.
You off? You're the one who led into this.
I didn't write it down this time.
Then you weren't prepared. That's like the definition of being prepared.
He's like Jay-Z. He doesn't write anything down.
Yeah, but Jay-Z's actually successful.
Well, I guess you're not like Jay-Z then.
I'm nothing like Jay-Z.
Well, that was a great riveting synopsis, David.
This is too early for this. Shaun's life sucks.
Yeah,
and then a zombie apocalypse hits. Who will survive? Him, his friend Ed, his girlfriend Liz, his mom Diane,
Barbara,
or maybe their friends David
Why don't you
and
just
Mary.
list the whole goddamn cast?
Yeah, and his mom's name is Barbara. You know.
Diane.
Barbara.
See, I don't know anything about this movie. Why are you guys letting me tell the synopsis?
Did you not watch it?
Movie.
You picked it. This is
No,
your
I
pick.
picked Hot Fuzz.
No, you didn't. I picked Hot Fuzz.
All right, I gotta ask, Stu, how many times have you seen Shaun of the Dead?
Probably about as many times as I saw Hot Fuzz. A small handful.
Maybe like 5 or 6.
Yeah. Morph. Morph.
What about you, Ben?
I think this would be my 5th or 6th time watching it. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So you don't like this one as much as Hot Fuzz?
I don't, but it doesn't mean that this is not a very a great.
So you're
movie.
saying Edgar Wright doesn't make good movies? Are you
He
going to walk that?
Masterpieces. He makes masterpieces. All right.
Apparently not this time.
No, that's just not as much of a masterpiece as it was compared to Hot Fuzz. I will say. This is
you're
still
saying
a very,
he's
very good
capable
movie.
of less than perfect.
Not less than perfect, just not.
You're saying he mailed this one in.
Mailed it into the Masterpiece Collection store. Am I right?
Hello, Masterpiece Store. Yeah, what's your
Yes, I have
address so I can send you something.
I mean, I really enjoy this movie. It's just that I think it's not as matured as, say, Hot Fuzz. Not as dialed in. It seems like something where Edgar Wright was still kind of trying to find his footing, but there were still a lot of things that were really great about it. It's just not as finely tuned in as, say, Hot Fuzz. That's why I like Hot Fuzz. It was something where, Edgar Wright knew what he was doing, had a good plan for what to do, and he had, on the technical aspect, it was really just all set in place. But this one is still a really, really, really good movie. It's Shaun of the Dead. It's like one of the most iconic horror comedies of all time. And I don't know why we're doing this for the action.
Yeah,
segment,
I was gonna gripe on that.
There's tons of action in it.
This is David. You're ass at picking action movies.
Boo.
I was gonna pick Mission Impossible.
Why? Then why didn't you?
Because I wanted to see Shaun of the Dead.
Because we could have made zombies an entire volume of now that's what I call 5incos, and now if we do that, this movie will be disqualified.
Yeah, unless I pick it again.
See,
I
we
guess.
run this podcast. I run this podcast fast and loose. Okay, the rules don't really apply anytime.
Great.
All right, guys, welcome to now that's what I call 5incos children movie edition. This week we're watching House of a Thousand Corpses.
Because anyone who hasn't watched this movie is a baby. Well, David.
So, sorry.
Come on, host us. Come on.
Yeah, come on, David. We're your guests.
Come on.
Entertain us.
What, dude? You guys are also hosts.
No, I'm just popping in. This isn't my place.
You've been popping in for the last 48 episodes.
Yeah, because I like what you got going on here. I like being a guest here, and
But you always leave a mess.
Well, it's your job. You're the host. Maybe you should
gotta
tell
clean
me
it
to
up.
clean up my shit.
Bring your own cleanup supplies. All right, Stu. Do you have a rating for this one? I mean, has it gotten better with age for you?
No, I think it's pretty. I want to call it almost timeless, except it's gonna be like one of those, could be potentially one of those movies that's like kind of like you know the there's like
Cult
only a
classic.
handful of movies where it's like the only one I can think of off the top of my head would be like, I don't know, Labyrinth. That was supposed to be like a timeless movie or something, or like not timeless. I don't know what I'm trying to say here. It's like it ages well, except for the fact that they all have like uh those, they show their phones and stuff. So I was like, well, that's gonna break anyone out of, is if it's 20 years from now when we have like implanted phones in our heads, nobody's gonna be like, what are those things they're holding and dialing on so much?
Oh, so when people see this in another 15 years, they're like, what are those disc things that they're throwing?
Yeah, even now, probably people are saying, kids would probably say that if they saw this movie.
Don't worry, there's always going to be hipsters.
Right.
Hipsters will always use old cell phones. It's going to be fine.
Yeah, but I like it. I really like, how they did the whole the mesh of zombie genre and comedy. I think they did both parts pretty well. The zombie stuff was good, and the comedy stuff, and how they kind of like slowly overlap and kind of seamlessly blend together. Where it kind of starts off as like a comedy a bit, and then as the movie's kind of going on, it's slowly like showing you these things in the background that are happening, but like the main characters are just oblivious to it. Which I would kind of imagine how like a real zombie thing would happen, where it's like nobody really thinks anything of it. Like, maybe COVID's a zombie thing, and we just don't know about it yet. Who knows? But yeah, I liked all that, and I do have some gripes with decision making in the movie, which I guess I'll factor into my score.
Okay.
Zombie survival decision making. So I'll give this movie an 8.5.
Okay. So if it wasn't for the zombie decision making, if this was, let's say, for example, you have no background on zombies in the first place, we don't have the rules that were set in Zombieland, for example.
Not even in the rules. The decision making I'm talking about aren't even really like everyone. Not really zombie related. Like everyone knows you got to hit him in the head. Like not that kind of stuff. I guess like there's no spoiler zones anymore. I can just
no,
say it.
not for these. No.
Yeah. So like,
especially for a movie since it was 2004 when it came out.
I guess it was part of the or like part of the plot. So there was no way out of it. But it's like, yeah, I'm gonna go pick up my girlfriend who lives in like on the nth number floor of an apartment where it's super safe, and we're gonna go to a pub in the middle of a heavily populated area, and that's how it's somehow supposed to be safer. Yeah, let's do it. And so,
but Simon Pegg was so darn convincing.
He basically gets everyone killed.
Yeah, I mean that's like what you said, part of the plot and kind of part of the joke, right? Where he's kind of an idiot, and that was his idea of being safe, right? Even though it is clearly not. Even they even pointed out like later on in the movie where David, right? Is that his name? The glasses?
Yeah, the worst.
Yeah, they're in the pub, and he's like, why the hell did we go here? We were perfectly safe upstairs, And like halfway through the movie when they're like going towards the pub where Shaun bumps into his old friend, right? What's her name? I don't remember her name. She's like, oh, where are you guys, off to? And they're like, oh, we're going to the pub, or we're going to Winchester. And she's like, you're going
Yvonne.
to the pub. Yeah, Yvonne, there you go. Yeah, she's like, you're going to the pub. He's like, yeah. And it's just like, oh, okay, well, good luck. It's just like I think that was part of the joke. It's just like he couldn't. Shaun can't think of anything past the pub in terms of anything, like in terms of like a romantic night, in terms of like a stronghold. That's where his mind always goes. The fucking pub.
Yep.
Do you think if they hadn't smashed that window, it would have been fine?
No.
Okay.
Maybe.
Well,
I think they've been fucked.
But at the same time,
zombie rule number 2: no noises.
Yeah. I don't know if that's actually number 2, but like anything with glass windows, that's not going to be safe.
Yeah,
it's true. You need a concrete bunker.
Yeah, or be on the a high number floor of an apartment building.
It can't be that high because he was able to climb. Like, are we assuming that he climbed up three? He scaled the building?
It definitely looked
he
higher than like the second floor, so I think it was at least the third floor.
Yeah, I want to say it was something pretty high up, just so that they could say like, "Wow, Shaun actually climbed all the way up here." And that was like the joke at the beginning, right? Where it was like, "You want me to climb up here? I'll do it. I'll fucking do it." And like, no, he's just a weenie.
All right, what about you, Ben? Thoughts on it and score?
10 out of 10, Stu's wrong. All right, moving on. All right, here we go.
Whoa, for a not dialed in movie, how can you give it the same exact score as a dialed in movie?
I would say that
I would say that Ben's scoring system makes no sense. That's
what we've already come to that conclusion. Like,
fine, 9.99%. Is that what you or 9.99 out of 10? Is that what you want? Is that what you want? The 0.01? Is that what you want, David? Because that's what I'll give you. 9.99.
Okay, perfect. And then we'll round it up to an even 10.
Okay, perfect.
Which is now we're right back to where we started.
Yeah, your scoring system makes no sense.
Fine, I'll give it a 9.99. Are you going to be happy with that, David? 0.01. All right, we're going to round that up to a 10.
And now we're back to 10. Why is it a 10?
How is it not dialed in? Okay, we're not doing this. All right, Ben, why a 10?
Well, I mean, I've seen a lot of people, give their review for this and compare it a lot to Hot Fuzz, and I feel like there's definitely a majority that like this much better than Hot Fuzz. However, or think it's better than Hot Fuzz. I just think I have maybe a bias towards Hot Fuzz in that sense because it just felt tighter. Like there's a lot more visual gags going on. There's a lot more. Yep, yes, it's very fresh and tight. Yes.
I was just thinking about the conversation earlier about the seeing other streams and stuff. So sorry.
Oh, yeah. I felt like Hot Fuzz had like a lot more going on. It had a lot more rewatchability with Shaun of the Dead. Yeah, there's some rewatchability, but it's not as much as like Hot Fuzz, where like you could pause a fucking like almost any scene within any given 5 minutes and find something going on. Like, oh, there's a joke. There's a visual gag about how fucking policewoman Doris is getting split roasted. Like that's such a like weird visual gag. It's like definitely blink and you'll miss, but like you scroll forward like a few more seconds and like, oh shit, there's another visual gag about how this police officer's an idiot. It's just like it keeps going and going and going. Whereas Shaun of the Dead is a little slower, even though I feel like Edgar Wright movies are a bit fast paced. It doesn't have as much packed into it, I would say. So it's still really, really good though. Don't get me wrong. Like I think what I talked about in the last review for Hot Fuzz was it's a movie that feels rewarding, something that pays off for the viewer when they're paying attention. And that really kind of takes place here when, they kind of foreshadow the movie as well, right? When I think they're in the pub and they're kind of going over what their plan is with like getting Liz back. And it was, oh, we'll go, grab a bite at the King's Head. We'll go save a couple of princesses, and like we'll come back here for shots. And that was pretty much a good summary of the movie, where what's his name, Bill Nye gets bit in the head. They go rescue Liz, and then they come back to the bar and they start shooting. Like there's little things like that sprinkled throughout the movie, but not as much as Hot Fuzz, which I loved. So that's why I gotta say it's like a 9.99 out of 10.
So a 10.
Yeah, so a 10. Yeah.
Great.
Even 10.
For me, the way I look at Hot Fuzz versus Shaun of the Dead is I feel like Shaun of the Dead, the pacing's a little bit slower. For me, this one's a 9, so it's a point above Hot Fuzz, only for the reason that I feel like the story for both is really good, but I can't compare the two, except for if you have to put them next to each other. I feel like Shaun of the Dead, you have to pay more attention to, because if you don't pay attention to, if you like walk out and you come back, you may have lost something, that you lose that continuity. But for Hot Fuzz, like you were saying, there's so many like different homages, there's a lot of like different callbacks, and there's like visual gags and stuff like that, that if you were to be one of those movies that Stu likes to put in like the background, I feel like Hot Fuzz would be a better candidate for that, because of the fact that like you can leave and come back and then you'll still get something out of the movie, because it kind of continues really well. And then you have those like chunks that you were saying, like 5 minutes at a time, that you wouldn't technically like miss out on anything, because there's always going to be something brand new for you to be able to see. So it doesn't build up as much as Shaun of the Dead. And I feel like the slower pace for Shaun of the Dead most of the time just comes to the fact that like it's trying to bridge that gap where it's still comedy, but at the same time it's also trying to touch on those like more serious notes. I know that we haven't split anything on the spoiler zone, but if you haven't seen this movie since its debut, 15 plus years ago at this point, I'm sorry we're spoiling this for you. But like having to, make decisions about shooting loved ones when they turn, right?
I'd shoot you guys in the heartbeat.
Oh no, I told
you don't
Irene
even have to
that
be you don't even have to be a zombie yet.
Wait, what? I'm not. It's not even a flesh wound. That's blood splatter. Nope, sorry, man. I can't take a risk. I'm like, wait, what? No, Ben, Stu, no.
You're gonna get bit eventually. I can't risk it.
Oh God,
Stu, there's no zombies.
What?
Yeah. So, but here's the thing: is when we were watching Hot Fuzz, because there was so much going on, and there was like, hit after hit after hit after hit, like that one requires for you to go back and watch more than once. But I feel like in terms of like trying to get through one sitting and then trying to get the most out of it, I felt like Shaun of the Dead caused more conversations. So I was sitting and watching it with Irene, and she was just like, after that pivotal moment where he finds out his mom gets bit, and there's big fight in between, and there's like, no, you're not shooting my mom, blah blah. He has to make the ultimate decision to shoot his own mom in the face, so that way he saves whoever is left over, even though his mom didn't want him to worry and all that stuff. Irene turned to me and said, well, would you do that to me? And I was like, absolutely. I'm not risking whoever else. She goes, wait, what? Wow. You wouldn't try to save me? And I was like, depends on the situation.
So, David, how does it feel to be single again?
I was not, because I told her, I was like, because I would expect you to do the same thing. And I told her, I was like, if we ever get into a zombie apocalypse, I told her, I was like, I forgive you ahead of this apocalypse if COVID-19 ever turns into an apocalypse where we all turn into zombies because of COVID-19. I give you permission, and I pre-forgive you for shooting me in the face and then leaving me to die if I turn into a zombie. But apparently I don't need to do that, because Stu would just shoot me as soon as... Yeah. Hey, David, I want you to come over to my fortress that I have with all the guns that I've been stockpiling.
Oh God, he's infected.
Yep. What? How dare? Wait, he's not infected. He brought Popeye's chicken. It's okay.
Oh,
give me the Popeye's chicken.
All right, now you're
David.
infected.
Can you go outside and check the mail for me? Bang. That'd be it. Wait a minute. I'm sure I'd be turning around and be like, wait, but it's Sunday, and then I see the barrel in my face and it's over.
Also, it's a zombie apocalypse. Why would the mail be delivering?
Yeah. Why is Popeye still open?
That's because that's going to be the most heavily defended
that's right.
bastion.
That's my Winchester. That's
yeah.
Brand new opening in Irvine, the all glass building of the new Popeye's chicken. Dude, we'll be able to see in every direction.
Yeah, but I want to go to somewhere where I know the exits and where I'm familiar with.
There are all exits and there are all entrances if it's an all glass building. They're gonna smell the chicken sandwiches, or maybe the how many secret spices does Popeyes have? What is it?
Oh, nobody knows. That's KFC. That totes.
Oh, they tell you here's the 14 ingredients. Oh, I know. So the at least 15 ingredients in the secret spices at Popeyes is what's going to deter all of the zombies.
Guys, I think it's settled.
I think that makes the vaccine for the zombies. Yeah. That's its key.
The secret is paprika.
I think it's settled. I think I'm going to have Popeyes for lunch. But
oh, you son of a bitch. You fucking son of a bitch. Can you bring me some?
What are you talking about? You have one near you now.
Yeah, but you have...
Isn't it like 2 minutes away?
Wait, do you have DoorDash Pass or whatever? Or?
Yeah.
Okay, can you use that to deliver some to? Come on.
But that'd be really funny if they. Is it okay? I know that this has nothing to do with this movie, but you mentioned DoorDash. How do they pick which restaurant it comes from? Why wouldn't it be the closest one to your geographic location?
It is.
I've had that has not always been the case.
You're right. I don't know how they pick. Maybe just how busy they are.
Yeah,
maybe. Maybe. I'm not sure because there's a Chick-fil-A across the street from me. I was just like, all right, I'm just gonna get lazy. I'll just order Chick-fil-A. I didn't even want to leave my apartment. There's one across the street because I didn't want to wait in that line. And so I ordered it through the DoorDash through DoorDash, and then it picks the one in Buena Park. Maybe I was like, that one's at least 25 minutes away. Like, why?
Maybe that's where the driver was coming from.
Yeah, maybe there's not like a abundance of drivers next to you.
Or maybe you were just too close to that Chick-fil-A where it didn't see it.
is that a thing?
Maybe they're like, clearly he meant he didn't want food from this one because he would have just walked outside to get it.
Yeah, no man could be this lazy.
Well, I don't know. Ben, maybe I might be able to change your mind, and I'll order you DoorDash if you...
Go on.
I have nothing. I was going to say if you did the synopsis, but I just realized we already passed.
I'll do a synopsis.
All right, go ahead.
Something. Okay. For what?
For Popeye's chicken sandwich. Go.
Yeah. Okay.
How about this? I'll get you and Letty chicken sandwiches.
Okay, for doing a synopsis.
Yes, a second synopsis that I will tape over because I'll do this one.
Okay, for Shaun the Dead.
Yes.
Okay, so Shaun, he's a guy in London. It's probably not London, but we're gonna go with that. It's London, and he's he works electronics, and he's selling TV packages, and he doesn't like his dad because his dad's Bill Nighy, but that's okay because he's got a girlfriend.
Holy crap!
And her name's Liz, and they're broken up now. And now he's got Ed.
I think Ben's doing his best David impersonation.
I know he is. This is horrible.
Yeah, and then a zombie came.
And then the zombies came.
And that's when things got kicked into 12th gear. It's Shaun with Ed against the zombie apocalypse as they try and run with his ex-girlfriend and his mom and his dad to the pub called the Winchester. But there's actually already zombies inside of the Winchester that they weren't aware of. And the gun that's on top of the bar is actually a real working gun. It's Shaun the Dead. It's just called Shaun the Dead.
But wait, there's more.
Old Ben, what else is there?
And then he tries to hop over a fence and says, "What, David? You've never taken a shortcut before?" And then it falls over. And then he becomes a police officer in London and gets transferred over to a village.
Okay, all right, that's it. All right, I'm good. I can't take that anymore. Oh, that was brutal.
Yes,
all right,
now you know how we feel.
Yeah.
Hey, you guys are the ones who penciled me in to try to do it. We had Ben doing it perfectly
penciled you in? You literally just said I had something prepared.
No, not today.
Wait, no, now it's not today. First it was I didn't have it written down, but I had it prepared to. Oh, I didn't have something prepared today.
Of course. I had it on Monday.
Oh, okay. So you're going to have the synopsis for the movie that we haven't picked yet for Monday.
I already know what it is.
Oh, you do? You do? Okay, we did actually pick the movie already. But okay, fine. So you're going to do the synopsis for the movie that we're going to do this coming Monday.
Correct.
Okay.
No, I don't want to take that away from Stu, since it's going to be his choice.
Oh, okay. There it is. How convenient. How convenient. We're just going to pass the buck to Stu. Okay, fine.
Yep. Thanks for the bucks, guys.
Yep.
Yeah.
Ben, did you not want your sandwich or not?
No.
I do want my sandwich, but no, I will get that another time. I will get that another time.
Oh no, it was only good for today.
Oh well, I already have Popeyes in my fridge, so I'm good. I just like complaining. That's all.
So we just sat through that horrible, awful thing for nothing.
No, it was for something.
Nope, you're not getting it. All right. Any other final thoughts before we go ahead and wrap this one up?
No.
What game were they playing in the movie? Do you guys know?
Halo? I don't think we got to see it.
No, there was like a few screenshots of it. I think it was an actual game, but I don't know what it was.
It looked like Halo, was it not?
No, it was something on PS2. I don't know what it was.
I thought they were just, because how like sometimes movie and TV shows like, hey, look at these guys playing video games, but they're like clearly not actually playing because it's like those are like PS1 controllers connected to a Sega Dreamcast. So
Time Splitters 2.
Oh, that's right. They were playing Time Splitters. Okay, yeah. Okay, that's all I want to know.
All right. Well, really quick, favorite scene, Stu.
Oh, okay. So as far as comedic goes, it was when they first, as a group, they encounter that zombie in the back when they're crossing through the yards, and they hand Shaun like I don't know what kind of goofy British sport this was, but it was like miniature. What's that thing called?
Cricket?
Where you hit the ball and it goes around on a rope. And tetherball, like some kind of weird British version of tetherball where it's like a tennis ball.
Yeah, and he's just yes.
And he tries to hit him with the tennis ball. He's like, no, this is rubbish.
And then everyone's just motioning for him to stab.
Yeah.
They're just like, oh.
Yeah, that was my favorite comedic moment. I think my favorite zombie moment is actually kind of I think it was a callback to one of the most horrifying zombie or kills I've seen in a zombie movie when I was a kid, where it was David's death, where he gets pulled through the glass, and then he gets pulled apart and shredded and all that kind of stuff. Was actually I believe I'm just basing this on what I've seen. This is a callback to Day of the Dead, which is an 80s zombie movie, where a guy. When I saw it as a kid, I was pretty. It was pretty horrifying to me just because of the way they did it. But yeah, a guy gets pulled apart and he's like screaming the whole time, and then as his head is pulled off, his scream kind of like mimics or kind of like it starts to like change tone as to what a scream would sound like if someone's head was pulled off. Jeez. So yeah, that was I like that callback.
How about you, Ben?
My favorite comedic moment, hands down, had to be right after they were in the garden and that woman, Mary, was just standing over there, and Shaun pushes her over and she falls over on what was like an umbrella stand, and she gets impaled, right? Oh. And they're just all horrified, like, oh, fuck, we just killed her, And then she slowly gets up, right? And then you can see that, there's a hole in her, and she just starts walking over, and it's like the greatest visual audio gag where like they're just staring in horror as she's walking over, and slowly into frame fucking Nick Frost Ed, just slowly gets his camera into shot, and you could hear the little wind up of his crick crick crick. That's probably my favorite comedic moment. Now in terms of Zombo moment, it's actually the same as Stu's. Yes, I'm a biter. I'll admit that.
Biting it.
That actually, when I first saw this movie, it was in 2004, but I was in 7th grade, and I was spooked by this because I was still a babby, and I did not like horror films. And I remember like thinking, like, this is a terrifying movie. And I didn't know it was a horror comedy until much, much later on, and I thought it was just a straight up horror movie.
There's nothing funny about this.
Well, yeah, it was a guy getting torn apart. Like, they were just, like, they tore apart his stomach and just took out his intestines and everything. But, watching it, later on, it's like what Stu said. It's like an homage to an older horror movie, Day of the Dead. And but at the same time it's kind of funny because like, yeah, they tear him apart, and then it was like they easily just tear off all his limbs, and then they're trying to like pull him back and his legs just pop off, you know. It's just like, yeah, I'm like, how the fuck did I think this was scary when I was a kid?
And then his girlfriend takes his leg and tries to go.
Oh yeah, she just like goes into the horde and she's like, yeah, I'm gonna save you, David, with her his fucking
he's like, I'm gonna stitch him back together. For me, favorite zombie and horror moment happens to be the exact same. When they encounter the guys in the big dude in the garden, and they're sorting through the discs, and he's like, "What about this one?" And then, "What about this one?" And then he goes, "Okay, yeah, that one's fine." And he goes, "Oh, but that's Liz's," and he goes, "Oh, it's fine." And he pulls it and he throws it at him. Like it's that comedy where I feel like a lot of times when we run into these zombie movies, a lot of times we've gone past that point where they already know how to defeat these guys, or they may not know how to defeat them, but they know how to avoid them or what they're capable of. Like in A Quiet Place, for example, right? It's like 3, 6, 9 months afterwards, right? We don't get a lot of chance to. There's not a lot of the movies where it's like they're still discovering it. It's a lot of it just like, oh, we got to get away. But this one, it's kind of like they're working through it. There's that first stage where they don't know what's going on. The second stage of, all right, this is clearly something's wrong. Third stage of, we got to get our stuff together and figure out a way out of it. So just kind of like that all culminated in one particular moment that they wrapped in for like, I think it was like 2 minutes. They got from, oh, this is a joke to, oh, this is real, and really quickly, and then us adapting as much as possible. So for me, that's my favorite moment. All right. Well, I think that should do it for us this week. Our movie for next week, as part of That's What I Call Cinco's.
An actual action movie.
Yep. Stu, what was the pick?
Terminator 2, Judgment.
Terminator 2. In anticipation of that, do you think our viewers or listeners should watch Terminator, or like the first one as well?
I mean, if you haven't seen Terminator or Terminator 2, I don't know what to tell you.
Well, all I'll tell you is we'll be back next week with Terminator 2. No, all right, sorry.
Was there a joke there? I didn't get it.
The joke's David.
We'll be back.
David. The joke is inside David.
Well, definitely come hang out with us next week when we review Terminator 2 as well as Street Sharks Season 3, Episode 13. I think we're going to be 15 episodes away from finishing, as well as that'll be episode 49 right before our big episode 50. Definitely check us out on all your favorite social media platforms. We're available on SoundCloud, Spotify, YouTube, Google Play Music, as well as Apple Podcasts. So don't forget to check us out there, as well as Twitch. We stream 4 times a week. Sorry, 4 times a day. Definitely hit us up on Thursdays at 7 p.m. And then you can be following us on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday as well. The Twitch link is in the description. Check us out there. As always, I have been your host, David.
I'm Stuart.
And I'm Ben.
Guys, stay safe out there. Wash your hands, wear a mask, and don't forget to tip your Reiki masters, and we'll see you guys on the next one. Okay, bye.
Bye.
Wait, so are you sensitive to actual caffeine, Stu?
No, well, here's the thing with me and caffeine. We go way back. We go way back.
How way back?
Back to, I don't know. I think I first started drinking coffee, not regularly, but I first like had it occasionally when I was like a kid, like I don't know, 8. I don't know how old I was, 8, 10, whatever. It would be like a thing where we would go out to breakfast and like it was like everyone with all my parents were having coffee, so I'd be like, I don't want to have coffee, and so I would have like a little coffee with like cream and sugar. But I don't know, coffee, like caffeine nowadays, it doesn't wake me up unfortunately. It just
like keeps you from falling asleep.
Exactly. So even if I was like super tired and I had just like had caffeine not long ago and I tried to go to sleep, it would just not let me.
Oh, you just like your body would feel kind of restless or whatever.
Yeah.
And you're just kind of like your brain's like awake. It's like go to sleep, brain, and then it's just like no,
no, you shouldn't have drank that that Coke at 7 p.m. Like,
yeah,
I do what I
me,
want,
it's
brain.
the same thing. It's like yeah. I think it's like if it's before noon, it's okay by the time bedtime rolls around. If it's anything past that, I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna have a Coke with this lunch. What time is it? 1. Well, I guess I'm not going to sleep today.
Guess I'm gonna be up till 3 a.m.
But man, I feel like we had some pretty big revelations in the last couple weeks. Ben found out that Will Smith's not such a bad guy and that there were some really great movies during the 90s. And I want to tell my parents, drinking coffee before I turned, 18 wasn't going to stunt my growth. Look at Stu.
Well, I mean, it might have. I could have been like 6'5". Who knows?
Yeah.
Aren't you like 6'1"?
Yeah. What could have been? I could have been 6'6".
He could have been in the NBA.
Yeah.
But I thought your dreams and aspirations was to be a professional cornhole player.
I don't think cornhole was a thing growing up.
Yeah.
Or maybe
you
it
don't
was.
know what you know now.
It hadn't been appropriated yet to the millennial culture.
I still can't believe that ESPN the Ocho is not a thing and that's not on there, and then the axe throwing and all that. Why are we trying to put it on ESPN too?
Yeah, they got darts. Darts. They should have axe throwing.
Dude, darts is a real sport. Dude, have you ever seen any of those?
Yeah.
Those are awesome.
But I mean, it's like throwing an axe requires more effort than darts, and it's essentially the same thing. So I don't see why it's not a sport. Actually, wait, no, they do show axe throwing. What am I talking about?
They do, and they also have the woodsman's like the championships or whatever. They do the log rolling and they do the sawing thing, and then there's the world's strongest man competition.
Yeah,
dude,
they show those in like the periods of the year when like
there's nothing going on.
No football, no basketball, no baseball.
Yeah, it's that weird portion of the year where I think it's like right after February, right after the Super Bowl, or actually in February because there's nothing else going on.
It's like after the Super Bowl and then in NBA All-Star Week. Or like the break around the NBA All-Star, stuff. So there's nothing.
It's actually funny. I'm sure that the programming person, whoever's setting that up, is probably wondering, like, how can we never get any viewers? Like, we've tried every part of the year, and it's like, because there's always a major sporting event that's more interesting than the... If they were to put that on Twitch, I guarantee you they would probably get a lot more viewers. Absolutely a lot more. I think, like, Twitch reaches a very interesting subsection of the not only just the internet, but also I think if we just start putting on VR goggles for them and then calling it a esport, dude, I think they would have a hit on their hands. All right. Well, if everybody's ready,